So in this lecture, we're going to be adding one more model to our project, and that's going to be the blog model. Now I'm going to do something a little bit different here because I really want to grasp that you're getting what's going on here. I want you to create this model all by yourself, at least give it a good crack. I'm not going to do the challenge absolute that you can't move forward until you try this on, but you should have most of the skills ready to make this blog model, create the migration and do the migrate yourself, have it show up inside of the admin panel. But if you have issues, you get stuck on it, feel free to just move forward. But let me sort of get you at least started in the right direction. So let's go to our and I guess before we move forward with anything, you can, what I love about Atom is that you can kind of see where you've made some changes here inside of your project. Change files are in orange and then new files are in green. And we've done a lot with jobs, and so I think maybe we should, this is a good time to make a commit. So I'm gonna go to my terminal here. I'm gonna do a git add -a and then a commit with some sort of message like jobs app up and running, okay? Because just remember, as we go along, we want to be committing our code so that we can always come back and sort of see where it is that we've made changes, okay? So with that all in place, like I said, go back to the project here. We now want to be working with the blog app. So we're going to start first at the models here. So I'm going to sort of write out what I think your steps should be. So the first one is you have to create a blog model. Next, after you've gone ahead and created that model, you need to add the blog app to the settings. After you've done that, you need to create a migration. Okay, after you've done that, you need to do a migrate, and then you need to add to the admin. So a couple of steps here, and I'm going to specify here on the blog model what sort of properties you should be looking for here. So if we go ahead and go to our image, a blog needs to have first a title. That's sort of the big important part of a blog post. So it should have a title. Oops, I didn't want that auto-completed. There we go. The next thing that we're going to want is a publication date, right? So what time this post was created. So we could call that something like pub date. The next thing that we're going to be looking for is some actual text inside of there, like what is the blog post text going to be. So I'm going to refer to that as the body. You can choose a different name if you want, but that's what I'm going to be using here. And then lastly, we need to have an image connected with this. I think it'd be cool if all blog posts had an image. It sort of hopefully will draw in a user when they're reading through the blog pages like, oh, that looks, like a cool one. So there you have it. This is sort of the setup for you. I want you to do your best to try this on your own. But then of course, I'll be there to help you if you have any problems. So go ahead, hit pause now and give it a crack. All right. So hopefully this went pretty well. If again, you had struggles, I'm here to show you. And hopefully you're enjoying sort of doing some things on your own. My goal is to get you to the end of this course and you feel like this awesome, powerful, independent person that's just like, I can go make whatever the freak I want, So I'm trying to get you there. So the first thing that we need to do is make that class. So I'm going to say class blog, and I need to pass in that models.capital model. Do my colon there. Then I want to set forward these 4 things. So I might just even cut and paste those below. And each time I do a step, I'm going to delete the comment because that tells me I'm, moving forward here. So first, let's start with the title. I'm going to have the title be equal to models.char field. And the max length on this one, let's set it to something like 255. That sounds pretty good. Next, let's move on to the pub date. So this is a new type that you haven't seen before. So I was hoping that, you went to the documentation and sort of looked up how you could find the appropriate field for this. Maybe, you went with a string or something because you didn't know those existed. But what we want here is a models.date time. Get all these capitals right. Capital date, capital time, capital field. And we're not passing in any options there. Next, we are going to be working with the body. Now the body, you could just make it a char field. I'm going to have it be a text field just because that allows us to enter in more text. So I'm going to go ahead and just say models.text field, no extra parameters into there. You might want to set a max on that, but especially if it's your blog, I don't think that's that big of a deal. And then the last one is images, and we've done this before. In fact, if we just want to keep things simple, I'm going to move over to jobs and go to the models there. I'm going to copy this line, come back to the other models, and just simply paste it. Boom. And that's all we need to get our blog set up. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we need to add the whole blog app to our settings. So the name that we're trying to add here is blog config. So I'm going to copy that, go to the project settings, and come up to the top here. I want to add an app called blog.apps. And then that blog config. Don't forget your comma afterwards. All right, so we'll save that. That means that we have finished this. We need to create a migration. So I'm going to come to my terminal, Python manage.py. We're hoping it sees this new model. So we're going to say make migrations. And look at that, it detected that. Awesome. So that's another thing that we can sort of tick off there. And next we need to do a migrate of the database. So we'll just say Python manage migrate, and excellent, it was able to do that. And then lastly, to see that if we can even work with these blog objects, we need to add it to the admin. So remember, if we go to jobs, this will be a great way to see what we're looking to do. We had to import the job and had to register that. So let's copy those two lines, come back to our admin inside of blog, paste that there, and instead of import job, we want to import blog and register the blog instead of the job. Job, blog, job, blog. All right, so we've got all this in place. So what should happen is if we go look at our admin now, we should see the blog object. So let's go to our localhost /admin. And oh, I forgot to run the server, so that's why nothing showed up. So we'll run the server there. Great. Let's try going to that again. And look at that, we now have the blogs showing up. So we can go ahead, click on this. Look at that, I'm gonna add a new blog post. I'm gonna say my first blog. The date on this, I'll just do today and the current time. Body here, I'm gonna say, I love to write fancy things. Okay, that's not fancy at all. And for an image, I'll just take the same image that's off of our desktop. Boom, hit save. And now look at this. We have a blog object. Oh, you want to see where that image is? Click on that. Boom. One more small little tidbit here. A great thing about Django 2 is that the admin site looks great on mobile. So as you'll see, if we like shrink the screen here to be smaller and smaller, things sort of stack up in a nice way. If we go back to sort of the home page, this is all nice. Before, it just pretended like there was no such thing as mobile, and it was this big thing. And if you're on your phone, like you're, trying to do stuff, which, I'm not sure all the time you're going to be logging into the admin portion of your site on your phone. But, I've had situations when I wanted to do that for a website that I had, and I thought this would be great. And this is one of the awesome things that comes with Django 2.0. Okay, so hope you enjoyed that. We've done a lot of preparation up to this point with like the databases and getting everything set up right, the virtual environment, sort of top level stuff. And you're like, we don't even have a home page on this stinking website. Well, from this point forward, we're going to be making the dang thing. And so I still got one more kind of big concept to teach you, and that's Bootstrap. We're not going to go into huge detail there, but just know the creating, if you're sort of the visual person that loves to see something on the screen, this is your time. Let's get to it.